During a high school class project, my teacher told me it's unrealistic being a CEO. It's been my dream to be a CEO since I was 10. So I told her, it is realistic. Follow me on my journey to learn what it takes to become a CEO. Welcome to another episode of the Realistic CEO podcast. I'm here with Mr. Smith of Final Touch Barbershop. Hi, Mr. Smith. How are you doing?
How you doing today? I'm Mr. Smith from the Final Touch Barbershop, Springfield, Massachusetts, from the birthplace of basketball, owner and operator of the Final Touch Barbershop for 20 years now. We're celebrating 20 years, 2 decades of excellence.
So what made you want to get into this business?
So I never thought I would be a barber. My brother and my little cousin who was working here, this was called Inner City Cuts. One of my friends was moving to Atlanta and he was selling the barbershop. And he sold it, and my brother looking for barbers. We joked about it. He was like in the chair, I was getting my hair cut. He was like, "Yo, you want to cut hair?" I'm like, "I don't cut hair. I don't do this." But then I started thinking like, I better, do something. I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to play around in these streets. So I took it, and then they bought it. I came in here. A few days later, my brother got caught up in a situation where he got incarcerated, and I went to barber school. And I've been up from there, bro.
Would you say your brother getting incarcerated is what really pushed you to make sure that to stay on the right track, to make sure that you are living a successful life while making sure that it's...
That was one of it, but I also had a 1-year-old son at the time, and it was really like to show him better. Like we were out here living, crash dummy lifestyle. And it's like, when I look back and I see some of the things that we used to do and what we used to idolize and what we used to invest all of our thoughts into, it was like, we're going nowhere fast. And I just thank God that someone believed in me and gave me a chance. And I just took it and ran with it, and God has blessed us tremendously.
How are you able to stick through, even though, it might not have been easy to live this life like in the beginning? Like, how are you able to just keep on going?
Well, I'll tell you this, it was very hard at first, because you see your peers walking around with pockets full of money, and you only got enough money to put gas in your car, or you're living from, I got to go to school and pay this bill, and I don't know where this is coming, because you want to do everything right. You're making steps forward. You don't want to go backwards. So it was a very hard transition for me, especially being in an environment in the city where I'm from, where I lived here my whole life. And I see the people walking by that I used to hang with, and you think they're successful at the time because they driving all the fancy cars and they got everything, the newest kicks and the newest wear, and you just hear like, yeah, I'm good right now. It's about, knowing that there's a bigger purpose in life. And for the first couple years, it was very hard because my mind wasn't there. I wasn't mature enough. I was very infatuated with the streets. And then as you elevate and you see that you can make money and you can be lucrative, and if you save and you budget, you can live just as a glamorous life, but legally.
Have you been able to help others get out of that life and come here?
Everyone has their own story. I have numerous barbers that have came through this pipeline, and a lot of them have their own shops. A lot of them moved out of the state. They're all successful, but you have to take that step to know that, because at first it's not easy. You come in, nobody wants to, they look at you as a new person. They're like, yeah, you ain't cutting my hair. You ain't cutting my hair. I don't know you. Especially in my generation, when I came in, there was old guys with Fred Sanford's getting baldies talking about, you ain't cutting my hair. Like, you're getting a bald head. I can't cut a baldy. I'm not qualified to cut a bald head. And they look you right in your face. No. But you got to, for every no, you might get 10 yeses down the line. And I've been tremendously blessed.
How are you able to keep on going knowing that you're the new kid on the block and they don't want you to cut your hair because they don't see your work? How are you able to
that's kind of like without failure, there won't be no success. If you never fail, you never know how it feels to succeed. So it's like I said, for all those no's, it's like you're gonna, it's the drive. You're gonna be fueled. Those no's is fueling you. Like, One day you're gonna want me. You're gonna need me. Then I have the opportunity to tell you no, but you don't. You still take that person and you treat them like you wanted to be treated. See, I have a saying that I tell everybody: you never look down on somebody unless you admire their shoes. And you always got to know somebody could be something. You might not be where you want them to be at the time, but everybody has greatness in them. You just got to bring it out of them.
How have you been able to give back to the community?
Well, we have a nonprofit called Back to School Brighter. I'm a co-founder with my brother Lamar, and my team and other barbershops, we came together, and every year at Rebecca Johnson, we throw it Back to School Brighter, which is cool to go to school. We get free haircuts, we get backpacks. It's a full fun day, and it's not about me, even though I help organize it. It shows community. It shows that other barbers can come together. People think because like it's a competition. The only person you're supposed to have competition is with yourself. What you can do better every day. There's thousands of people in this city. Everybody can't go to one barbershop, so it's a friendly competition. I don't care if you cut all day. I'm happy for you. It doesn't affect my bottom line. And that's what a lot of people have to realize. It's a friendly competition. Mostly every barber in the city that I know are my friends. Or not friends, associates, because everybody uses that word friend so freely. And they're associates. You know, if you family, you family. If you're a friend or associate, you're a friend or associate.
How are you able to build a relationship with other barbers that you know to be able to have a running and working shop like this one?
Well, it's like the real and the fake can never relate. I just keep it real with everybody. You take me for who I am. I'm gonna come at you and give you. As soon as when you show me that you're not gonna give it back to me the same way, I learned how to curve it. I learned how to move. You know, you don't just you don't have to be around somebody to talk to them. You don't have to always be with someone every day to get along with them. You know, you just learn how to distance yourself. If people have negativity, hello and goodbye. You still know the person, but you just move different. As you get older and you mature in life, you'll see. You know,
If you're able to answer one question, like ask one question to your younger self on like how you're able to come from being like going down the wrong path to being able to own your own barbershop, what's one piece of advice that you give to your younger self?
yeah, that's why I had parents that worked 9 to 5s, had great jobs. I just wanted to be with my friends, and we grew up in the '90s. The '90s was the crack epidemics hit this city and every city in America like a whirlwind, and we were affected by it. The music, the entertainment, everything was based around it, and it was just like a lot of my friends that are have been incarcerated for most of their teens and 20s. They get out and they're success stories, and they're like, we could have been doing this from the beginning. We could have owned truck companies. We could have been doing it. We were thinking. We were thinking. We didn't think. We just did what we thought was right.
So what advice would you give to someone my age to like make sure that you're staying on the right path, even though maybe your friends might be going down the wrong path?
Listen to your parents, because one thing, we might not know all the answers, but we care about you. So we're not. The biggest thing is we're trying to show you guys not to make the same mistakes we made. And y'all think we're being hard on you guys because, oh, we know everything. You're gonna live your life. The best way to learn from a mistake is to make one. You're gonna have, but you don't want to make a mistake that is so hard to bounce back from. Being in the streets as a young youth, my whole teens and my early 20s, it was hard for me to get a job because of my Corey, because I messed it up as a kid. It took me everything that I did from the age 15 to 25, took me from 25 to 35 to get out of. Having my record sealed, being able to work for the state, being able to be a law-abiding citizen. It took me a lot. Just as simple as a driver license. From till I was like 29 years old, I didn't have a legal driver license. I drove every day illegally, because this is what happens when you think that you're in the streets. They take your license. They take your license just for child support. Don't have no babies at a young age. Stack your money. Listen, save. Do what you're doing.
So
Get a hustle, a legal hustle.
so you said it took you 10 years to get back on the right track. How are you able to stay consistent during those 10 years?
Well, you gotta if you want better and you knew better, you do better. So once you start hanging around like you probably heard this a million times. Your dad, you guys, you're very articulate because you write books, and they always say two trees start off at the same. Some grow higher than others, and they don't stay on the ground. Some grow taller. You gotta outgrow. You outgrow people. That don't mean you're better than them. It's just you outgrow them. Like I have friends that I know from when we were kids. I don't hang with you on every day, but we have a mutual respect. You're still doing what you want to do. You're a grown man. I just don't stay in that lane. You gotta learn how to move in a room full of vultures, man. That's a key to life. The biggest key to life is you gotta learn how to leave people where they stay. You can't always bring them with you. You can't always say, "Oh, this is my boy. We grew up together. I gotta be around him. I gotta love him. I gotta love him. I gotta love him." But love don't disrespect. That's what my boy used to say. Rest in peace, Lo. Love never disrespects. If you love me, you would do everything positive and show me the right way. So if you wanted to go be a pastor, or you wanted to go work at the post office or anything legal, I'm supposed to be happy for you, not mad for you. Not say, "Why are you doing that?" Oh, my brother's changing his life. He wants to do something. He wants to do something right. And that's something that we don't, in our community, we don't big up the young brothers and sisters that are doing right. If someone come home from jail, prison, we'll get them, give them money, give them this. But what happens to the kids that graduate from high school? The ones that do the right thing, they should be getting the same thing. They went to school and did the right thing, and you're not giving them a party and doing this. But someone come home from prison, you give them a party, give them clothes, give them a start in life. What about the ones who did the right thing? So, I just try to show like it's cool to go to school. It's all right to be a nerd. It's all right to be a bookworm. There's nothing wrong with that. Be yourself. Just be you.
So you said you had to outgrow people or leave people in the past. How are you able to do that? Like, and just like without like hesitation?
As you grow and you mature, you see like people like I used to I used to smoke marijuana, and then come around and then you're like now you smell how people come in here smell like marijuana. Like I used to smell like that. So someone's gonna get a haircut and have to smell this on me while I'm getting a haircut. That could offend somebody. What if a pastor or a police officer comes in here or a correction officer and they're like, "Oh, you smell like." It's a time and a place for everything. That don't mean that I don't engage in marijuana, but it's a time and a place for everything. It's business and it's pleasure. And that's the difference. People think they want to bring all their flaws or like I can't drink on the job. I can't just because we're in business and we own our own business, you still have to set a standard. And once you set your standard and then your coworkers and employees, they'll do the same thing. We don't drink, we don't smoke on the job. What you do on your own time is your own time. But that's what you have to create. You can go in thousands of barbershops all over the country and you'll walk in there and it smell like y'all were just smoking in here. Like you got to do better because if your grandmother or your mother walk in, you want business from everybody. I don't care who walks in the door. We treat you the same way until you treat us differently. That's a businessman.
Why would you say that's important to treat everybody respectfully and equally?
Because that's what you want. When business is, everybody's expendable. You could go anywhere. There's thousands of barbershops. Look at every corner. In New England, there's at least 300 barbershops in New England. You have options. What makes you different? What makes someone want to come sit and spend money with you? You can go see someone you don't even know their name and get a haircut. Just walk in. No. Personality, good business standards. You build relationships. I tell everyone who works in my students and everyone, your chair, your network. You have carpenters, plumbers, electricians, everyone that sits in your chair. Everybody wants to look out for their barber. We make them look good for their weddings, proms, funerals, everything. People always, I need a cut. First thing you say, oh, when you have an event to go to, I need to get cleaned up. You want to get dressed, you want to get groomed. This is what we do. We're a part of your life, your lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. This is what we create.
Why would you say networking is important? You said, your network. Why is that important?
Your network is your net worth. If you're not networking, if I didn't meet the people around me that want to see you grow and you want to see them grow. So we Back in the day, we used to call it the barter business. I cut your hair, you come cut my grass. Even exchange. You don't have to pay me. I don't have to pay you. We're exchanging services. That's all it is. Networking is exchanging what can I benefit from you and what can you benefit from me. Even if I can't benefit nothing, I still learn. It's learning. And what's the key to life? Growing and learning.
So I'm guessing that you're a leader here. How would you say being a leader has helped others come into this shop with like the same mentality as you?
So it's like it's hard for because I've had cheers open for years that I wouldn't rent because it's a family here. You have to have a spirit. You have to be like-minded because if you have a barber that's been with you 5 years, 6 years, and then you get a new barber that comes in and they're always arguing and fighting, who's the problem? We never had problems before you got here, so it's on you. So sometimes you got to tell people it's a reality check, it's a mirror check. Not only me, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I learn from everybody every day. When you become dormant, nobody wants to be around you. Nobody wants to know it all. So even myself, I might have been doing it longer than them, but they still know just as much, or maybe some might know more than me. And you could never think everybody starts off the same way. You go to barber school. Someone can teach you. I can learn a different technique from one of them. Okay, maybe I might use this because it's gonna make speed up my time, or it can look better, or maybe this is what my client wants me to achieve, and I'm just wanting to do it my way, but it's not the way that the client wants it. So you want to give your client your best because they're your walking, talking billboard when they walk out into the world.
Why would you say that you have to be able to be humble? Basically, when you said like maybe you might be working for doing this for 20 years, or somebody might do for one, and they might know a technique that you didn't know. Why? How are you able to like?
Well, humbleness is everything because if you don't have humility and you don't, like I said, if you're dormant, nobody wants to be around you. I always am looking to learn. I'm a student of the game. This is the craft. This is what we do. So if I'm an educator, styles change, um, numbers change. Prices of haircuts when I started was $10. Now they start at 30. So you have to learn, and I'm learning marketing. Like I'm learning how to, like everything that you do from putting on your clothes to brushing your teeth, it comes repetition, and it's a learning experience because you have to learn from somewhere. You might do it faster one day, you might do it slower one day, but I just really think that hands-on, being in a barbershop setting around other like-minded people is the best thing it could ever be. Like I could go and put a suite, be by myself. I just love the barbershop experience. People, talking to people, learning from people, especially the youth. We got some Thundercats in this community. We got some great, great young, smart, going to Rebecca, all these schools around here. And you meet these young kids and you hear the way they talk. They're smart as can be. And then letting them know that I could move my barbershop 10 times. But I stay here because the kids in the community have to see someone that looks like them, talks like them, has something. And if I can do it, you can do it. It's simple.
So how could the youth learn from you to be able to own their own barbershop or own whatever they want to own?
All they gotta do is ask, and I'll tell them the blueprint. Because, like, if you keep knowledge in, that's being selfish. I'll tell anyone, you can ask me a million. If you're gonna, it doesn't affect me to give you the knowledge. You gotta go to barber school. How much does it cost? You gotta ask me any question, and I'm gonna answer it because it doesn't affect me to help you.
Why is it important to help people? Because it seems like you like to help people a lot. Why is that important to you?
Because someone helped me. You give out what you want. If we're not here to help somebody, what are we here for? To be selfish? Oh, I was the smartest person on State Street. That's what they want. That's what I want on my tombstone. No, success is the impact that you leave on others. It's not about money. People think it's money. I know plenty of people that have money and they're not successful. Their minds and it's it's just in life you'll learn a lot. And I've been on this earth for almost half a century.
Why won't you say money doesn't equal success?
It doesn't, because I know a lot of success is the impact that you leave on others. If I could have all the money in the world and if I'm not helping people, that don't mean I'm successful. That means I'm wealthy. That don't mean I'm successful. That don't mean I'm successful.
Okay, so would you say that being able to help others has been a more of an impact for you over making the money at this barbershop?
Well, money is not the most important, but you do need money because it is a business, and businesses don't run off of air. So being being able to help people, talk to people, and have a beautiful spirit keeps the door going in and out. Because if you are ignorant or you treated people wrong, people word of mouth. They'll be like, "Yo, don't go in there." Every time I walk in there, they got an attitude. They're not. Why would you want that? Why would I want to turn money away and not bring money in? Without people walking in this door, we have no business.
How are you able to balance like a relationship with your customer over like making sure knowing that they're gonna come back just because like the way that you treat them?
Um, it also takes, you have to give them a quality haircut. You have to, you know, a lot of my clients trust me because I'm not a gossiper. I don't talk about people. You'll never hear me talk about no one that's not in the building. That's number one. We don't gossip. None of my. I don't let. We don't. If someone comes in and even starts a conversation about gossiping, we switch the conversation. I'll say, "Oh, did you see Michael Jordan play last night? What about Kobe Bryant?" Or just we'll start talking about one of these greats on the wall. We're not going to talk about people, and that's how you stay in business. You can never say that we gossip or talked about. We hear people talk about what happens in the streets and what's going on, but you know,
How are you able to balance work life with your like family life?
at first it was really hard because as you're building a business, we thought that being here from sun up to sundown was everything. But whenever you think you're winning in one aspect of your life, you're losing in another because like whatever you invest yourself into. So I thought cutting hair. So when my sons were smaller, I used to fund their trips to AAU games and practices, drop them off, but I could never stay because I was building a business. Now as I'm seasoned, I can go to all their games because I build my schedule around it. As you become as you become more successful at what you do, then you become like I don't know how to put it, like you become needed. So when people need you and they want to book, you just book your schedule out. Like I'm on break or I need to take this or like right now how I scheduled my block off for this podcast. It's like I work smarter, not harder. So as you get older, you start. Time is everything. That's one thing you cannot get back in this world. That's the most valuable thing, more than money, everything. We're all on time. So how long do we? How long? So everything reverts back to time, character, making sure that you hold yourself up to a certain standard. Like they know when ladies and kids are in here, we don't use profanity at all. Sometimes you slip, but you apologize because we are human. But you have to put yourself on a level where everyone feels comfortable coming in here. The politicians come here. We have people from India, Asia, Italy. When they come to visit, they come here. And it's a blessing because it's word of mouth. Having books, having reading material. When kids come in here, instead of them trying to be on phones or be in grown folks' business, they're reading books. They're learning. They're learning what book can I come here and read next? Because I read this one. Which one can I go? They're excited to come. You have to create an atmosphere that is for everyone. When you come here, you'll never hear any profanity on the TV. You'll hear R&B music because it creates an atmosphere that you want. You want to have a loving family atmosphere, and that's what we created.
Why is having a positive atmosphere important to you?
I'm here more than I'm at home. Imagine if I was listening to "Take That," as soon as when someone comes in with a bad attitude, that's how I'm going to react because that's what I'm feeling into my psyche. So what you feed into your spirit is what you give out. We listen. We listen to the good music. This is what I want all day. I'm having a good time. So when someone comes in, just block it out, chill it out. Because believe it, people come in here with attitudes and say crazy stuff every day.
So how are you able to deal with those customers?
My family, my like we look at each other, and then we know how everyone in here acts because we're around them. So we look at each other like, yo, go to the back. We got cue words, like chill, leave it alone, turn on the music. You have to learn that it's for the moment. Like if I get into an argument with someone and they come back and retaliate, I'm putting your life, his life, everybody's life in jeopardy over something that I could have avoided. But just saying, have a blessed day.
How have you been able to develop that skill throughout the years?
It was hard. It was hard. That was one of the hardest. And sometimes it comes back, but then you realize someone who has nothing to lose will help you lose everything instantly. And I put that in my head all the time. And then, they say, touch me, I'll sue. Touch me, I'll sue. I had a guy coming right here, ignorant, yelling, screaming. I said, excuse me, sir, can you leave? Then he's going to tell me, touch me and I'll sue. He left. But, you have to deal with, it's just, sometimes you have to think, man, like, am I ready to lose everything over nothing? Go ahead, man. As long as no one puts their hands on you, words is words, bro. People be like, oh, he called me this, he said this, he did this. As long as they don't defile me as a man, who I am, my character, or touch my kids, or try to hurt anyone in this bar, like a client or anyone, and disrespect our entity, we don't have no problem, man.
You keep on calling the people that you work with your family. Why are you calling them your family?
Because, like I told you, I'm with them more than I'm with my immediate family. And to work here, you have to have that. There's been barbers that want to come back to work that have worked here before. They come here and visit more than at their other barbershop because it's the atmosphere we put out, man. It's the energy that we give each other. I will never fire nobody. You have to fire yourself. If you get an opportunity here, someone gave me an opportunity. I wasn't perfect. We all come with flaws. But it's how we can work better on our flaws, how we can build each other up, how we can talk to each other when I'm going through things and I come in here and I'm on one because something happened at home. I could confide in them. They can confide in me and know that it goes no farther than what we're talking about. It's between us. It's family.
How are you to build this atmosphere?
Working around people for years, being you learn. You learn how to deal with people and you take people in doses. Everybody when you meet, like say when I meet you, if I meet you, you're not gonna give me your B or C face. You're gonna give me your A face. Everybody when you meet somebody, they're like, hey, they're gonna show you, yeah, I'm this person, I'm this person. Okay, this is who you are. Show me.
Would you say being able to have people around you that are like-minded like you has made this a successful business?
Everybody's not like-minded.
Mm-hmm.
It's you never want to be around a yes man, someone who just takes it. I want to be around somebody who, if I say something wrong or I offended you in any way, you have to be able to address me and tell me, yo, I didn't like that. And I'll be like, okay, I apologize. Because as a man, that's one thing that we don't do. We don't apologize or we don't tell someone, my bad, my fault. How do we fix it? We just want to argue. I'm not perfect. I make mistakes. And I want to be somebody be like, yo, you shouldn't have said that. All right. How you think I should have handled it? Because I value your opinion or I wouldn't ask.
How are you able to get people around you to make them feel comfortable enough to address you when you might have messed up?
Because the real and the fake can never relate, bro. I tell you this all the time. This is what I say. It's hard. Like I'm big on energy. If you come with me with bad energy, you can't work here. I don't give a care how nice you are. You could be the best barber. You could cut superstars. Your energy is what we run on. You're not gonna fit with the team. You have to fit with the team because sometimes I travel. I'm not here. I can't be arguing and fighting. This business has to run the same way if I'm here or not here.
Okay, so for the last question, it's just going to be a little lighthearted, fun question. What is one fun fact about you that nobody knows?
I'm an open book, man. So like what you see is what you get. My biggest, like, I had to learn to bridle my tongue because sometimes you have to realize like words can hurt people, and we come from an era where we joked and we joked hard, and words can be offensive. Things can be offensive that might not offend me, might offend you, and I have to realize that you're a person too, and everybody's feelings matter. Especially now that we deal with, we have gender roles, and I'm learning because we have people who they see themselves as different genders or whatever, or they're having they identify as what they want to identify themselves as. And I'm learning because we have LGBT barbers that work here. We have people and they teach me and enlighten me on that too, because I'm just gonna tell you this one story and I'm done. So one day we were in here and this lady was talking about a dog. And everybody, we were in the conversation because she was like, oh, she was crying. I got to go to court over a dog. And I was like, I can get you a dog for $1,000. What kind of dog? Stop crying. We can get you another dog. She was like, well, would you just try to go get you another kid? The dog was my kid, and I had to apologize because I didn't know a lot of the LGBT when they have their pets or their kids together. And for me not knowing this, I was ignorant to the situation. And she enlightened me, and I had to be like, oh, I apologize. And then so for future, I know how to listen, comprehend, and then put all my thoughts together before I speak. Because it was offensive to her. I didn't even know that I offended her in that way because everyone in the barbershop said the same damn thing. We were like, yo, but we didn't feel that she was hurt. And I don't want no one to leave with that taste in their mouth. So I said, I apologize. And you enlightened me. I learned something from her because I would never think about it like that. So that's just a way, man. You always got to sit up here and be willing to have an open mind about every situation. You can't just think it's my way. And that's it.
Thank you for letting me come.
My
here.
guy, man. As always, thank you for letting me be a part of this, man. I wish you the most success because the future is up for you, bro.
Thank you.
And I love to see young people just win. I love to see people win, period. Everybody want to pop a bottle at the championship. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. Like, no one wants to see somebody lose. And you just keep winning, man. I want to see all your interviews. I just want to see you grow. And I can say, yo, when it blows up and goes to the, like that rocket on your shirt, I was one of the first. I can say, yo, go through the throwbacks. I was there. I was in my shop. Keep winning, King. You're going to get there, man.
Well, guys, that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Bye.